Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're going to start for today's video. The beer's courtesy of Ross. Thanks so much, Ross. I really appreciate it. So it is Revolution's Cafe Deth, Cafe Deth, however you pronounce it. Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee, 14.8% ABV. An apparition of fresh roasted coffee. And this was filled October 4th, 2024. For their Deepwood series, they're using dark matter coffee. I think that's everything worth reading. Let's get into it. I'm super excited for this beer. Oh, I can smell the coffee already. Okay, I'm here for it. Yeah, it definitely looks like a coffee stout, a big stout. You know, it's mostly black with some brown in there. You got about a half a finger ahead. It sticks to the side of glass more than it is in the center, so in the, you know, where it's not touching the glass, it's probably more of like a quarter of a finger. Pretty compact bubbles, they're starting to break up. But yeah, it definitely looks like a bigger stout. We know I got coffee already, but let's get into a proper aroma. So much coffee, I love it. I'm here for it. There's enough sweetness and chocolate coming through that it's not just coffee. It almost like a little bit of caramel. That bourbon's coming through a little bit, so almost like a an amalgamation of not amalgamation. That's the wrong word. Whatever. Stop trying to use big words. So have coffee. Yep. There's a little bit of caramel in there, almost like maybe you're making an Irish coffee, but you like creamer and some caramel swirl or something in it in beer form. Yeah, is that a decent descriptor? But yeah, some nice chocolate coming through. Plays well with the coffee edition. I get only 100% coffee. I don't get any sort of green pepper. Finally, some oaks coming through. But the main thing is the coffee. Like in the aroma, over half of what I'm able to smell is definitely coffee. So everything else is definitely there, but just not as impactful. I mean, if you're drinking this beer and you don't like coffee, that's on you. But like, you definitely, at least for the aroma, you definitely have to like the smell of coffee to like this smell. I happen to think this smells amazing. Really excited about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Ross. Hope you're doing well. That's good. So, oh God, that's really good. The sweetness of the beer with the bitterness of the coffee, really nice levels of both. Seems like a weird beer to use the word balance, but they help balance each other out. I feel comfortable saying that for sure. Good amount of chocolate. The coffee, it's roasty. There's bitterness to it. Maybe it's some char from the barrels as well, but like I definitely get, it's not smoky, but definitely a nice roasty element. A little bit of oak, especially in the aftertaste. Like the aroma, it's very coffee. It's definitely a beer. It's definitely a barrel-aged stout beer. Like that comes through for sure. But coffee is huge. This is they're not light on the coffee with this. It's not whispers of coffee. It's not an accent of coffee. It's a coffee stout aged. You know, like it is definitely coffee is prominent in this. Yeah, the chocolate level is nice. There's enough sweetness that it goes, maybe Hershey's special dark chocolate. So not full on milk, not full on super dark either. The bourbon level is nice. It's kind of like I was saying with the aroma. Wait, that was the aroma, right? Or was it the taste? I think it was the aroma. Where I was talking about the, because it's the same thing's happening in both. So that's why I'm kind of confused right now which one I set it in. Must have been the aroma. Where it's, you know, like Irish coffee, but you put a good amount of creamer and sweetener in it, and maybe like a little caramel swirl because there's enough sweetness. So not that this tastes like it has lactose. I don't mean literal cream, but just things that you might add that would then sweeten the beer. It's like when I see the school I work at has a coffee shop, and sometimes students are like, "Oh yeah, I love coffee," and I look at the color of what they're drinking. I'm like, "Well, you're not drinking coffee. Coffee is an ingredient in what you're drinking, you know? And that's kind of how this is. There's like all this other stuff also going on. It's not just coffee, but it's all this other stuff going on, and it does skew like with some of that sweetness, some of that chocolate, a little bit of caramel. Makes me think some of those kinds of drinks. But yeah, I'm here for it. This is awesome. Hides the ABV pretty well too, which is cool. Some vanilla, that sip. Oh, you know what's there too? I've gotten this in a decent number of beers like this, coffee or otherwise. And the vanilla is what made me think of it. Kind of like a confectionery sugar on top, but when it gets wet and it kind of, it doesn't caramelize, that's not the right word, but it seems to kind of just a little bit change the taste for me. I guess it is the same if you have powdered sugar on a donut or something, funnel cake, whatever, and you start eating it, the saliva mixes in with it. It's like that thing, just like a little whisper of that throughout, which I like, adds to the sweetness of it. Without being too sweet. But again, I think the coffee's helping bring out some bitterness to balance out all these things I'm tasting that are sweet and that I want to describe using sweet terms. This is awesome. I kind of want to do one more sip. This is really good before I wrap this up. Man, the coffee, guys. I know. I'm like repeating myself. I don't know how fun of a review this is to listen to and watch, but I think they put the exact right amount of coffee in this. I try not to say perfect and things like that unless I truly believe it. I wouldn't want an ounce less or an ounce more of coffee. Like this is exactly the amount of coffee I want. I think this is the perfect amount. So I'm here for it. This is freaking awesome. Ross, thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. If you guys had some before, what are your thoughts? If you had a nice coffee stout lately you want to talk about, anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.